Hydro field cuts through my neighborhood.
Do you love margarine and polystyrene foam? Move over, Twinkie. This may outlast you in the apocalyptic times. You can rely on old meat butter for your end times. Meat butter. Not to be confused with ham that comes in a can. The best hams don't come in a can, and you need a plan in the apocalyptic times. That's where meat butter shines. Try meat butter from the makers of Spam. Your dog will thank you. Or will they?
Meat butter. Meat butter is not for human consumption or animal consumption. Please do not, by any means, feed meat butter to anyone you know or ever will know. Meat butter is very harmful, toxic, and will cause death. Not responsible.
We back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I hope that you hear me okay. Please let me know in the chat. If
We
you
had technical difficulties, but we sorted it out.
Yeah, it happens. It's just a part of streaming that sometimes things just don't work out. And so we have to adapt to that. And so I'm sorry we're late. My computer that I use will not start. Like I tried like all day long to get it to start, and so I had to go back through my memory and put the show back together without being able to get. I thought I had sent the email to Steve with all like the links and everything that I put together for the show, but apparently it did not get sent over. So, you know, Steve, you're typing as me.
How the fuck am I typing as you? I just signed in as me over here.
So I wanted to make sure that everybody had a few minutes to get in here. I'm sorry that all happened. We are going to be heading over to do just Rumble. So that's why if you are viewing on the YouTube, there is a poll, and the link is pinned at the top, so you can follow us over on the Rumble. That's where we're gonna be for the majority of the stream. And please make sure you follow on Rumble. You follow the main page, and then like we have 2 different channels over there now. So like it's a whole thing, like how they do it.
Thanks. Yeah. You said he gave another shout out for your computer fund in the on the Twitters.
Did we get Lady Alex back?
Lady Alex, come back.
Did she come back? I know she was in here before. Teresa, you found us.
Baby, come back.
Snow Leopard and Oz and Yup.
Snow Leopard already sent me links to play for music.
Oh, look at that. We have Vicky in both places. Is Vicky over here in the
No, I don't see Vicky on this side. I see Lady Angela, the scary girl.
I would need to give everybody a chance to get back over here. So tonight we have I have put together a show. We're going to talk about Skittles and why Skittles are being canceled and why they really should be canceled. We're going to talk about gender bending. We're going to talk about, let's see. I have a clip on a non-binary woman because we're talking about, non-conforming people. And also we have a little snippet into what another part of the world does about people that are more feminine or masculine. And if we get to it, we'll see if we get to it. We have a a 90s talk show one kind of talk about these types of things that we're going through, and I think that it's just an interesting comparison. So
Shaniqua, the father of your child is Rocket Burrito.
no. No, that's not true. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about. So I will stay on YouTube for the Skittles segment, and then we'll be switching over to just Rumble because they let us speak freely, and you know that's just the way it is.
Skittles are Oz's deity. Skittles are like Oz's Jesus, but rainbow and carcinogenic.
Listen. Do not tell don't tell them. Okay, they might not know about these Skittles. I'm sorry if you're a lover of Skittles. I used to be. I loved eating them as a teenager. Like I've always loved rainbow stuff, and all of that. And it just these are very targeted towards children. And here I'm going to show you the new Skittles and why people are upset. Okay. Because they're pulling like the same thing that like Bud Light is doing. They have Skittles. God. Let's see. What do they say on them? How can I make this bigger?
Make it bigger. You just use your fingers. That's an Apple feature you might have read about.
I know, but this thing doesn't do it the same way.
It's the same thing. It's touchpad and you open fingers and it does.
Okay. I'm still having a hard time getting it to do it. Is it 2 fingers or 3 on yours?
2 or 3. Couple 2 or 3.
Okay, there.
How many fingers on yours, huh, guys? Huh? Couple 2 or 3. What? That's a leading question.
Okay, so this is the new Skittles packaging, and it says Black trans lives matter and joy is resistance. And it shows like a lot of the trans flag colors and the rainbow and all that. Which I'm like, whatever, if you want to, support people. I don't like how it's geared towards children. Because we know who the candy aisle is geared towards. It's geared towards children. So people are really upset, and they're giving Skittles kind of like the same as the Pride Bud Light thing when it happened with Dylan Mulvaney. And you can see over here, this one says Pride on it, and it has they're just another manufacturer trying to, use the community to sell their product. This is a big virtue signal. And so people are really upset with this. Like, they're like, oh, we're going to do the same thing to Skittles now and Mars candy that we did with Bud Light. And I'm like, you guys are missing the rest of the picture here. They're missing a few things with that. With it being so focused specifically on, they're doing pride things and they're virtue signaling and we're going to cancel them. And you know what I mean? Like all of that. The thing is that Skittles are targeted towards our children, like I previously said. But also, besides that, Skittles are extremely toxic. And so lawsuits already against Skittles. And to me, I'm like, they're dangerous. So banning them is probably, one of the best things that that you could do if you care about your child's health, because these things are toxic.
But I like rainbows.
Rainbows are fine, and it's fine to have support, but I don't think that corporations using people as a buffer to try to get them in a certain demographic of people to buy their product, which is also a known toxin. And so I think that's the reason why Skittles should be canceled, is because they're toxic, not because
You can't cancel candy.
I don't know.
Everybody loves candy. Has sugar in it. Sorry,
So I have a video that we're gonna play.
my voice turned into the Agent Cockatoo that Oz has down there.
Oh, down under, yeah. Yeah.
My voice just reached those same registers there. For Christ's sake.
And so this is, this isn't the easiest thing for me because I used to love Skittles when I was a kid. All of that. But knowing what's in them, I can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. So we're gonna play a few minutes of this, and because he goes into like the lawsuit against Skittles.
over concerns that a food coloring ingredient in the candy is unfit for human consumption. This class action lawsuit was just filed in California on July 14th, mainly because the food coloring ingredient in question, called titanium dioxide, is associated with DNA damage, cancers, and gut inflammation, and has already been banned in England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and even France. Roll the clip.
This Mars Inc., they're the ones who make it. They're being sued by this woman in California who claims that the colorant is dangerous. It's worth bearing in mind that it's considered a food coloring anyway. So it's been licensed. It's a food coloring that you can use. Now, the European Union are banning it. So she's suing, saying, well, if they're banning it, it's probably bad for you. And there are some links to things like its ability to change your DNA, which means X-Men's happening.
Yeah.
It's never superpowers.
Can't imagine that there'd be something that changes your DNA knocking about. I mean, that's just surely that's the stuff of science fiction, isn't it?
Well, that doesn't sound too good, does it? Anyways, stick around and we'll go over what this harmful food ingredient called titanium dioxide really does to the body. We'll also go over a list of foods and items you absolutely need to avoid that have this ingredient in it. But before we begin, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell on the bottom right-hand corner so you can be notified when my new videos come out. Also, click my social links in the description below if you want more content like this. I post extra exclusive content on Substack and Patreon if you're interested. Also, I have new YouTube memberships now that give you access to more content, so just click the join button above. Anyways, let's get into this. So to begin, let's go over the toxic ingredient in Skittles called titanium dioxide. We'll talk about what it is. So first things first, according to the US FDA, titanium dioxide is still considered fit for consumption. That just means the FDA is behind on this, clearly. So what is titanium dioxide? Well, according to TDMA, titanium dioxide is a bright white substance used primarily as a vivid colorant in a wide array of common products like food, paints, plastics, paper, and pharmaceuticals. So basically in food like Skittles, it enhances the vibrance of their colors. So the greens look greener and the reds look redder. But here's the problem with that. So according to a statement made by the European Food Safety Authority on May 6, 2022, taking into account all available scientific studies and data, the panel concluded that titanium dioxide can no longer be considered safe as a food additive. A critical element in reaching this conclusion is that we could not exclude genotoxicity concerns after consumption of titanium dioxide particles. After oral ingestion, the absorption of titanium dioxide particles is low. However, they can accumulate in the body. So basically what they're saying is, according to certain studies, titanium dioxide acts as a carcinogen. oxygen, which wears down the immune system and important cells in the body. Well, when you wear those cells down and alter the immune function, it can lead to genotoxicity, which is almost always associated with cancer formation. So what studies are they referring to? Well, this one here, posted in EFSA Journal on March 25th of 2021, explains that.
None of this sounds good to me, and none of this sounds like it would be good for, you know, a community of people that are, you know.
I think it's like Vicky Adams said, ooh, shiny, like titanium dioxide.
Yeah,
that sounds fun. Can we play with that?
Like everything
explosive?
causes cancer, and then we wonder why we have all this explosion of cancer, and you know, like everywhere, and like this isn't allowed everywhere. I don't have the article that I originally had set aside for tonight's show. Like, so I gathered what I could and to make sure that we had some information about this. But this is banned in certain countries. Like, they don't even sell the same foods in other countries because they know of how toxic it is. It's pretty crazy to me that like people want to cancel it because of their packaging, but yet we're not canceling them because they cause cancer. Like, it just really feels ass backwards. And it's really, I think it's awful that something that causes cancer is targeting a marginalized community as well on top of it. All right, let's play a little bit more of his clip. I put the link to his video in each of the chats, but we will add it to the show notes afterwards to give credit to this original YouTube channel.
Quote, based on all the evidence available, a concern for genotoxicity could not be ruled out, and given the many uncertainties, the panel concluded that E171 can no longer be considered as safe when used as a food additive. So that's the first study saying this food could cause genotoxicity and thus cancer. However, if you noticed, they referred to titanium dioxide as E171. As you can see, it goes by many names, and we're going to go over all of those names later in this video, as well as a list of foods you absolutely need to avoid. Now, this next study, named Impact of Food, the Food Additive Titanium Dioxide on Gut Microbiota-Host Interaction, examined titanium dioxide's effect on mice. Basically, researchers administered different amounts of titanium dioxide to mice through the drinking water. Researchers said, we found that titanium dioxide treatment could alter the release of bacterial metabolites in vivo and affect the spatial distribution of commensal bacteria in vitro by promoting biofilm formation, indicating that titanium dioxide significantly impacts gut homeostasis. So let me explain that. They're saying that when those mice were exposed to that titanium dioxide, those little bacteria in the gut started promoting the formation of what's called biofilm, which is something that hurts the immune system and prevents good bacteria in the gut from communicating with each other so they can fight off.
And the community that they're targeting with this toxic mess is the trans community, the rainbow, you know what I mean? Anybody under the LGBT
Rainbow people, because
you know,
they're Skittles. Of course they're going to go after the rainbow people. It only makes sense.
yeah. This is what they're targeting to kids and to this one particular group. I can't help but think this is like a very sinister plot.
I think ultimately it's not to interrupt you, I think ultimately the idea of the people who produce the things that we consume in this country, all facets of everything, right? They have been adding and taking shortcuts to food, medicine, hygiene, cosmetics, everything. All of the things, they have been adding things to them that they want to fucking get rid of and use up because they're not useful to them in any great way. So they figure out how to incorporate them into stuff that we fucking use, whether that be the plastics that are now embedded in our DNA or the chemicals. That's what they do.
It's like constantly. And it's not a surprise when it's like a targeted thing to me. I mean, I just see it more and more. The more I walk around and look at ingredients, you can just see, like, if you understand basic chemistry at all, you can be like, oh, well, all of these different phosphates are fucking poisonous and cancerous and lead to carcinogenic effects down the road. And then they're all in combination with all these other things in your air and your water. And so your air, water, and food, we're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm going to mute. We're going to play the rest of this.
Yes.
Of pathogens or diseases appropriately, among many things. So there you have some evidence to show that repeat exposure to titanium dioxide can actually weaken your immune function over time. So now, what foods contain titanium dioxide and how do you spot it on a label? Well, first, it's found in Skittles, M&Ms, Mentos, Kool-Aid Blue Raspberry, Betty Crocker whipped cream frosting, all packaged and ready to make brownie, cake, and cookie mixes, Trident gum, Carnation instant breakfast, Nestle coffee creamers, Hershey's special dark chocolate, Jell-O banana pudding, Pop-Tarts, Hostess powdered donuts, and even mozzarella cheese. Also, it's found in all sunblock, most toothpastes, and even certain deodorants. Now, as far as avoiding products with titanium dioxide, you have to be able to spot it on a label. That said, before you purchase a product you feel may have this harmful ingredient, look on the package. And if it says titanium dioxide, E171, or added colors, don't buy it. Anyways, those are the facts. If there's anything you'd like to learn about in the future, let me know in the comment section below. And I'll see you on the next one.
We'll be back.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how that's just in everything.
All of the products, all the things that we consume. Yepex is like, have you noticed have you seen differences in ingredients on U.S. products versus those in other countries? The differences night and day. Absolutely, some products are just out and out illegal for people to sell in other countries because they're carcinogenic.
Or they have the same product, they have different ingredients in those products. Yeah, like it's really crazy. It's like they customize like the products that they'll use for another country that's like, yeah, we're not making that toxic shit.
Right. It's like they have this like one market where you can sell it in certain part of the United States, because in some places you can't buy certain things, even in the United States, because the states have rallied against it and said, no, we don't want this bullshit. So that, and then the state has to go up against the FDA and there's all this fucking bullshit about it. So that's why people don't bother trying to fucking not have it. And in the USA, there's literally a couple of zones where you can't buy specific things. They've been regulated so that you can't, because they're poisonous. And that's the problem I have with it, is the fact that all of these companies, the ones that are the biggest ones in the world that we all fucking support because we buy their bullshit, the Mars Corporation, all this candy, all the candy they're feeding you give to your children is fucking poison.
Think about Halloween.
It's literally poisonous. What they go taking your child to get a Happy Meal is poisonous. They're fucking killing us, bro. That's what they're doing. They are straight up trying to shorten our lives, actively poisoning our water, air, and food. And not to mention all of our housing and all of these products that we use that surround us every day. Lots of them are fucking really bad. Lots of them are dangerous and adhesives and stuff and floors and stuff that wick nasty chemicals and forever chemicals into it. We're living among that. They're fracking in the ground and releasing these fucking incredible fucking things that literally are killing people, like children. You know what I mean? Like every fourth person now, basically, by the time they're 35 years old, is going to be diagnosed with some sort of cancer in the United States. In some places, in some regions, it's much higher than that. Like that's a that's a reasonable average. What the fuck? We need to stop doing this.
Well, to me, it's just like it's crazy because people are like so concerned about this, but they're concerned about like the wrong part of this. You know what I mean? Like they're not concerned about, like Skittles as a whole. They're not really worried about it themselves. It's not the titanium dioxide that they're worried about. People want to ban them because of the packaging and who they're targeting and who they're supposedly supporting, which I don't think it's that way because they have these toxic chemicals in the food. And so there, if you look it up separately, you can find that there's lawsuits in 2022 and 2023. I'm not sure if it goes into it on this one. I'll try to see if I can find my original article that I had. But this is what I was able to pull up for this because I lost all of my links and everything I had for the show. So what is titanium dioxide? It's a common element found in the Earth's crust. In nature, titanium occurs in two forms: titanium dioxide or titanium oxide or titanium dioxide. While titanium dioxide is found in nature and is a mineral, it can be manufactured commercially. Titanium dioxide is often used as a pigment or dye because it has a bright white color. It doesn't break down easily when exposed to ultraviolet light and remains stable over time. Because smaller titanium dioxide particles scatter more light effectively, they are often used for whitening purposes. Some of the smallest titanium dioxide particles are less than 100 nanometers in size and are called nanoparticles. And so it goes on to say, what is titanium dioxide used for? Approximately 70 to 80% of titanium dioxide produced worldwide is used for pigmentation and paint. But titanium dioxide is also used as a whitener agent in foods, including coffee creamer, frosting or icing, chewing gum, and lemonade, and an ingredient in some pharmaceutical products, cosmetics, toothpaste, plastics, and paper, like zinc oxide. Titanium dioxide is a common ingredient of mineral type sunscreens. So like you can get, like you get the, you think about a white streak, like, you know what I mean, that you could put on your cheeks. That's basically, that's what this is. So, which are sunscreens, and the mineral ingredient physically block UV radiation. Titanium dioxide can also be used as a flavor enhancer and can be found in soups, mustard, beer, and wine. Food grade titanium dioxide is often referred to be an abbreviation E171, I believe is what that is. I'm thinking that's a 1. And contains up to 40% titanium dioxide nanoparticles. The United States Food and Drug Administration, our wonderful FDA, allows titanium dioxide to be used as a food color additive as long as the amount does not exceed 1% of the food weight. Like, that doesn't seem like a strict regulation. So what happens to titanium dioxide in the body when humans eat titanium dioxide? Less than 1/10 of 1% of the consumed product is actually absorbed by the body. This means that titanium dioxide does not cross into the bloodstream in significant amounts. Instead, consumed titanium dioxide travels through the gastrointestinal tract and excreted through the feces. And then they go on to ask if it's safe. Because exposure to titanium dioxide passes through the gastrointestinal system, scientists have explored whether titanium dioxide can cause unwanted gastrointestinal side effects. There are studies concerning the safety of titanium dioxide in the body, and most of these studies have involved animals other than humans. In one study involving mice, titanium dioxide consumption caused an increased number of inflammatory cells in the intestines. In another mouse study, the ingestion of food-grade titanium dioxide was associated with increased cochlear tumor formation, as well as genetic changes that could be related to cancer growth. Because of their very small size, the nanoparticles are believed to create more toxic effect in the body than larger particles. So, it's just gets even better as we go along here. Titanium dioxide nanoparticles may cause an increased cellular changes and DNA damage and inflammation compared to larger size titanium dioxide particles. But more research is needed to define the true damage caused by titanium dioxide and nanoparticles in humans. And it goes on to talk about if it causes cancer. Inhalation of ultra fine titanium dioxide particles, as well as pigment grade titanium dioxide, is associated with cancer development in rats, mice, and hamsters. Because of this, titanium dioxide is considered possibly carcinogenic to humans after inhalation exposure. So, I'm wondering now, how do they get it in the Skittles? Are people being exposed to this toxic material to put in a toxic material to get to kids? And this is one aspect of it. This isn't even including all the red dye number 40 and all these other things that cause effects.
The point of it is, though, that no, they're not going out of their way to fucking poison anybody fucking specific. This is just stuff that they put into fucking food. They don't care. They don't give a fuck. That's what it is. It's not like, oh, we're gonna kill all these kids. They're just
I didn't say they were gonna kill. They did it to kill the
kids.
Say you
did. I'm just saying, for example, that's not what is happening. They just have all of this.
No, they find
stuff.
ways to use the byproducts of other things, and they put things in things, and it gets approved by the FDA. And that's
invest in that product that they're going to be able to unload.
But they're using a product that is a toxic product and targeting it towards children. Though they are doing that. So whether they know it or not, I'm not accusing them of that, because I can kind of put 2 and 2 together, but that's for everybody else to decide what they, how they feel about it.
I just personally, I think my opinion is that they are just profit driven. And if they see an opportunity to use some of those byproducts that are just sitting on the fucking shelf, then they fucking get excited. They add them to a bunch of things. They tip off all the fucking people so they can inside trade on the fact that they're going to unload all this stuff was sitting there fucking losing money. You know what I mean? Now all the boys are making money and everybody's happy. So who's going to bitch about fucking 2 kids who get killed?
Well, they do a risk assessment, and they see okay, they weigh it. They literally weigh whether or not there'll be lawsuits if people do catch on, and they are like, is it worth our while to do it? Is it more profitable to have these lawsuits that may come in the future?
I bet
they weigh the risk and the benefits.
I bet they don't even have focus groups anymore that do that. I bet they just put the fucking shit into the AI, and the AI tells them it's a good move or it's not a good move, and that's it. And they move on.
I don't know.
Clinical, making decisions based on fucking figures of profit,
Yeah, it's numbers to them. It's not about whether or not this is toxic to kids. I bet you their own kids probably don't eat their own product. So people who work in the industrial settings where titanium dioxide is produced may be at increased risk of cancer development. Oh, see right there. Although the exact relationship between titanium dioxide inhalation and cancer in humans remains unclear. While inhalation of titanium dioxide may increase the risk of cancer in some individuals, there is no evidence that eating Skittles is associated with cancer development in humans. And titanium dioxide is banned in Europe, and they say in 2021 the European Union prohibited the use of food grade titanium dioxide as a food additive. This ban takes effect in August of 2022, and based on the evidence suggesting that titanium dioxide can affect inflammation and cause genetic damage. So yeah, in July 22nd, 2022, a California resident filed a lawsuit against Mars manufacturer Skittles. The lawsuit alleged that Skittles candies, which contain titanium dioxide, are unfit for human consumption due to the presence of the chemical. So, and then it goes in this last little bit. It says, if you experience adverse or unexpected symptoms from Skittles, get guidance from poison control.
Poison control.
Like, this is something that like is in every freaking gas station, every supermarket. Like, they put this in the aisle. This is readily available, and then they give you the number for poison control. In the U.S., it's 1-800-222-12. 222 or 1222.
It's like, did you accidentally ingest some food in the United States? Here, write this number down.
And this was written by Kelly Johnson Arbor, MD, a medical toxicologist. So, yeah, like, you know, we need to be aware of what we're eating, and like, you know, I'm all for, you know. Oh, I used to love Skittles. It's like, it's so freaking ridiculous. You know, when I was younger, they were one of my favorites. And so you know,
Yeah, they have all the ways, Teresa. They literally, it's coming at us from every single direction. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, it's unavoidable. Like, you can eat as healthy as you possibly can. You can try to ingest as little of the fucking, you know, glyphosate and all these different, there's so many different things, and you can't avoid it. You just can't. If you take medicine, you're getting some. If you take, you know, any sort of processed food at all, you're getting a much. It's just, that's how it is. If you eat food that you think is healthy, and is being touted as being heart healthy, like Cheerios, for instance. That's a lie. That's full of fucking, it's bad. It's not good for your heart. Not at all.
So far, I just want to show everybody.
They can't get us. They're getting us. That's all my point was.
Oh, go ahead.
I just
want to put the image and let everybody know this is how it's going for Skittles so far. I just, you know.
Each method of getting us to ingest poison is being opportunized and profitized and monetized.
It is. Hi,
Everywhere.
Riley, we're gonna be cutting off of YouTube. So that's why there's like nobody over here watching.
Yeah.
So if you want to follow the link, then you should join everybody over here. I don't know if you've come over yet. I don't see you in the Rumble chat.
Riley Martian.
But Riley said, but cancer is a super
business.
diet.
Super diet is. You want to take a few pounds off? Sure. Oh shit. I gotta call you back, dude.
All right. I think that is like all that we had for the YouTube tonight. Rest of it's going to be over on Rumble, so I'm going to be disconnecting from the YouTube.
Gotta go.
It's just the way that it is. If you would like to help support this show that we are putting on and the work that we do, I'm going to put links at the bottom. We are saving up right now for a new computer, so any tips or anything is going to be going to that, and we would really appreciate, you know, if you could share, you know, all that good stuff. All right. Well, whoever was over here on the YouTube, I think that they've departed. So we're going to say goodnight to YouTube. Thanks for hanging out with us and, you know, having this wonderful conversation about Skittles and why they're being canceled for the wrong reason. And we're going to start over here. Oh my gosh. The Babylon Bee. I don't know if you guys saw this. Oh my gosh. They made a video. You're going to have to be on Rumble to watch it though, because I just can't play it on the YouTube. I know that the stuff I'm playing next will get me dinged. Even if it's from YouTube, it will get me dinged. Let me see if I can pull this up and get this ready. And so we're gonna say goodnight to YouTube, Steve.
Good night, YouTube. You have a great night, you little fascist son of a bitch.
Yeah, they're definitely not a free speech for us platform. All right, I'm gonna add this in, and then we will.
It doesn't feel like butter. That's what she said. Oh
my gosh!
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
So if you want to see how the M&M identifies as a freaking Skittle, then come on over here to the Rumble. Follow the link. Remove YouTube.